Ah, yes, and here we go again. It's a bit of double dipping because I'm stitching together a number of videos that you can use for, let's say, having a look at mixing colours and understanding. This is directly related to what you can use in schools because for little kids, when they're mixing colours, they always end up with this purple, red, brown goo. It's because they understand that mixing colours together gives you another colour, but they don't get how to mix them together. So this series of videos will go through black and white, so white through to black tones with variations on grey. Then we'll look primary colours, blue and red. So we go white through light blue to blue, then to dark blue, same with red. And that would be applicable to any other colour, whereas they have the experience of making it darker or lighter depending on the white and the black. Then we'll look at secondary colours and how to mix those together and do that in a way that the students end up with evidence of how that works. So later when they forget about it, they can still do it. So let's go. Oh, and cheap, this is a budget production where I'm holding a telephone, doing the video recording in one hand, doing all the work in the other hand, hoping that that it works out. And that's to show you that even though it's a little Blair Witch project, it will work in a school setting. So you don't need it to be a Lucas production. Low budget works fine.
Hi, I'm Simon O'Malley, and today the exercise we're looking at is some basic tonal values of colour and primary colours. Here we've got black and white, which are pigments, they're not colours, and yellow, blue, red that we're going to use for our exercise. Have a look how much or how little paint you need on your palette. And so we'll start. The first one we're going to do is black and white. So I take a little bit of white and I start over my sheet and I just put it on there. And you can see that there's nothing much happening, but hey, that's okay. Then I need to clean my brush. You've got to remember to do that so you don't transfer the colour all over the place, whatever you're using. Now I take some black and put it up the other side of the scale. Excellent. So now what I can do is clean the brush. I'm going to transfer some white so that I keep all of that white clean and usable. Transfer some to another part, another palette, and you can see the grey in there. So there's residue from the...
There's residue because I didn't clean the brush in the first place, and it's a great little mistake, whereas I should have loaded my mixing palette with the white paint and the black paint, and that, for that matter, I should have put my red, the yellow, and my blue on the mixing palette in a small proportion to start with. The idea being that you can always clean your mixing palette and you still have clean paint, good paint to select from.
Black, perfect. So I'll add just a little bit more black. I should have actually transferred some black across as well. Now the deal is that you can work from light to dark really easily. It's really inexpensive or cheap to run from the lighter colour and just add a fraction of the darker colour. So over here, even that's gone too far, too quickly. I know. See if we can lighten that up a bit. Yeah, not bad. Now, add a little bit more black. Dark grey. There it is. Bit more black. Darker still. Yeah. There it is. And there we have it. White to black, tonal value. Now we'll do the same with blue and red. Once again, see how small the amount of colour that we need. So I've got my white at one end, blue at the other. So I take a tiny, tiny bit of blue and I mix it with that. I've just started mixing the blue with the white and get a really pale blue. This shows tonal variations using these pigments, using these colours. So let's make that a bit darker. Yeah, and then one more step. Oh, there you go. So we can do the same with red. The blue is a cool colour. So what I'll do now is I'll add a little bit of black to what we've got. It's actually the grey. So we'll try that. Clean your brush in between. So I'll put some fresh black down there because the other one was greying out a bit. And I'm just going to add a small amount of black to the blue to darken that up. A bit more blue. Bit more blue. Bit more black. So you can see that the use of the white and the black allow for tonal variations in the pigment, in this case, blue. In that case, using the pigments black and white.
Very good. Okay. So then what we can do is we can bring this one across, blah, 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 blah. I told you this was cheap. This is very affordable recording. And same with the red, white through pink, through deep red, add a bit more black through to black. So there's your tonal exercise using the pigments white and black and just the colours red and blue. So what you'll see from that is if I did it with green, if I did it with yellow, if I did it with any colour, it would be the same thing. So effectively, all you need is for your students to understand that this colour can be lighter or darker depending on how I use my white and black. And then that gives them the experience of the science of mixing the medium to be able to arrange it how they want it. Now, we'll just have a look at this other one here. And this will go into our primary colours.
When you're cleaning your palette,
remember that.
Use a sheet of paper and gather it all up. because, wipe it all up, because you don't want paint down the drain. It goes solid in the drain, blocks the drain, and starts to smell very badly. Then you can rinse the residue off your palette. So now we want to look at primary colours. Once again, clean water, clean your palette, clean paint, and not much paint. So for our primary colours, we've got yellow, red, and blue. For our secondary colours, we've got yellow and red for orange, yellow and blue for green, red and blue for purple. What I've done is I've put the paint on wet so that I can mix it actually on the page.
So what we're going to find from this is, while I've been gas bagging, the yellow is actually dried and will become problematic. For you, you need to do it like straight away, and you'll find that it will mix appropriately on the page.
Got the yellow, now let's go red. And this is a warm red or a light red, so it's a bit difficult because it's not a deep colour. So there's some red. Great. Now let's mix the red with the, put the red down for the red-blue. Mix the red with the yellow.
So here you can see that there's difficulty with it mixing through because the yellow has dried. Yeah. Now, if it was wet, you'd end up with this great orange.
Maybe a bit more yellow in that because the red was strong.
Fire.
Good. So you can see the orange coming out there now. So this is the mixing of the colour. Now let's have a look at the red with the blue. Simple exercise. These exercises are meant to give students the idea of how colour works, how to control it. If you know how to control it, then you're going to be able to work well with it. Yellow and blue comes together. So once again, we need a bit more yellow.
Beautiful.
Excellent. And there's our green coming up there. Now, blue and red. And you can immediately see the purple coming out of that. So that's it. There's primary colours and secondary colours. A good little exercise to help people understand how to control colour.
So from that, you can see quite clearly here, there's the bit of yellow, bit of blue, and it shows the green. Bit of red, bit of blue, and that should be more blue there, and the purple down here. And you leave it with those patches on there as an exercise for your students, because then in a few weeks or months, when they've forgotten all about this, they go back and they look in the workbooks and they see, exactly, yellow and red is orange, yellow and blue is green, etc. You can do this with primary colours, with secondary colours, and tertiary colours. And a really interesting one is to look up how to mix brown. So have a look at your tertiary colours, how to mix brown, how to mix any tertiary colour, and all of a sudden it gives the students, any age, it gives them the tools and the understanding of how you mix colour and why it changes colour the way that it does. Really interesting exercise, and certainly worthwhile in schools. Thanks heaps, that's great, and see you for the next one. Bye.